Hey, I'm Heath. I'm a Customer Success Engineer here at Losant, and today what we're going to do is build and deploy an Edge workflow. Let's get started. Okay, here is my application. You can see that I do have one Edge device here. Now, for this video, we do assume that you already have an Edge agent up and running and connected to Losant. You can see that my device is connected here on the right side. First things first, what we need to do is create a workflow. So here on the left navigation panel, I'll click Workflows. And because we want to create an Edge workflow, I'll scroll down here to the bottom and click Create Edge Workflow. And I'll just name this Edge Workflow. And my Edge agent version for this workflow needs to be 1.21.0. This is because I know that my Edge compute device is running an Edge agent version of 1.21.0. And the newer the Edge agent version, the more functionality I have available to me. So I want to make this workflow with an Edge agent version target equal to that of the version that is running on the device or devices that this workflow will be deployed to. Now, if I were to select version 1.22.0 for my workflow, right, a newer version, this workflow would not be able to run on my Edge compute device because the target version of my workflow is higher or newer than the version of the Edge agent that is running on my device. Edge workflows are backwards compatible though. This means that if my workflow targets an Edge agent version older than what is currently running on the Edge compute device, it will run fine. But it is always recommended to use the most recent version of our Edge agent and for your workflows to target that version so that you can get as much functionality as possible. And I'll click Create Workflow here. And this is our workflow editor. You can see on the left side we have lots of nodes for you to click and configure, and in the middle here is our workflow canvas. For this workflow, I'm actually going to start with a trigger. Actually, most workflows start with a trigger, and triggers are the green workflows here. But for now, what I'd like to start with is a virtual button. The virtual button is a trigger that allows us as developers to click that workflow and trigger it manually. And for this workflow, I'm actually going to do a Modbus read. I'm just going to use the search feature here. I'm going to type read and click Modbus. And you can see that it was automatically generated here. That's because I actually have this node selected. And to end this workflow, I'm actually going to use a debug, which is an output here at the bottom, an orange node, and we should be good to go. What the debug node does is it puts the value of the payload on the debug stream so that we can see the payload at that moment in time in our workflow. But you can see that the Modbus node does need some configuration, and you can tell by that little red exclamation point. I am going to be doing a Modbus TCP connection. And for that, my IP address is actually just going to be a local address, 168.5.40. Now, this IP address will be different for you, especially if you're using a Modbus TCP connection. So you'll have to find that IP yourself. The port template will stay 502. The unit ID is 1. We'll leave the defaults here. Indianness is big. And we are going to do an array of template strings for read instructions. Our first read is going to be a holding register on address 1, length of 1, and my result key, we'll call this first read. And our second read will be another holding register at address 2, length is still 1, and my result key, we'll call this second read. And here at the bottom, you can tell by the red outline that I do need to fill this out. And this is the result path. And this is where the result of this read will go on the payload. And I want to put this in working.modbus read. And so now that we have all of our nodes configured, what I need to do is actually save this workflow in the top right. And now I can deploy this workflow. And I can click deploy right next to it. And this is the deploy menu. And you can see that we have select devices here, and because I only have one device, one Edge device, Losant automatically puts that device in this list for us. Now, if I had many devices, or if I wanted to select only devices with a certain tag value, I could do that here in this menu. we can actually preview this device, and you can see it is connected, and version status is none, but that actually makes sense because we haven't deployed this specific workflow yet. So if I click deploy here, you'll see the deployment was scheduled. And if I go over to my versions tab, you can see that we did create a version here. And then if we go to deployments, we can see that our edge device does have this version deployed. So now what I can do is I can actually go to my debug panel, click a device to debug, and click my edge device. And now we're in our Edge Workflow Live Look debug panel. Now, what this does is it automatically scopes virtual buttons right to that device and connects to the Edge device's debug stream right away. So if we were to have a timer here, we would automatically see messages come in. But because we don't, we can actually click this virtual button, and we can see a debug come in. And we can go down here into our working, first read and second read, and see that our reads were successful. We've made a relatively basic workflow here that kind of proves that we're able to read Modbus. But what I'd like to do now is actually make this a more production-ready workflow. And I'm going to do that in two ways. I'm going to add a timer so that this workflow happens on an interval. And I'm actually going to add a device state output node so that we can record state to the device that we're reading from. So to begin, I can start by clicking Make Changes up on the top right. And first what I'm going to do is add that timer node. And I can come back up here to Triggers and click Timer. And you can see the node was added to our workflow canvas. I'm going to move it so that we can make it look nice. And I'm going to connect timer to the Modbus read. And then in the node configuration for timer, I'm going to keep it as simple interval. And I'm going to run once every 30 seconds. And I'll click Save just so I make sure that that change is in there. The device state node is another output node. Now instead of clicking, I'm actually going to click, hold, and drag and drop. And if I hold my mouse here, you'll see that the line goes dotted. I can actually drop, and the node will go in between that workflow and will be connected on both sides. So now what I can do is actually start working on the device state node configuration for this workflow. Now, the first option I have is to either select a specific device or select a device ID that's specified on the current payload. Since I am going to be reporting state for the edge compute device that is reading the Modbus value for me, I'm going to select the second option. And when this workflow runs, the value is actually going to be at device ID. For the state area, I am actually going to leave the default as individual fields, and my device has two attributes, RPM and temperature. And the value for RPM is actually going to be the value of that second read. So I know that those reads are at working.modbusRead because that's what's in the Modbus configuration that we did earlier. So I can start with our handlebars notation, and I can actually type working.modbusRead. And then RPM is that first read, so I can type first read. And the reads are actually coming in as an array. So to access array values, I have to use special handlebars notation here. It's dot and then a bracket to access the array. And then to get the first is 0, and then I can close that bracket and then close our handlebars notation. For temperature, I know that it's going to be basically the same exact payload path. So I'm going to copy the value from RPM and paste it down here in temperature. The only difference being is that temperature is going to be my second read. And for time, I'm okay with using the default value for using the current time of the payload. You can see we do have two options to use the current time or to use a time specified at the payload path. But for this, I'm just going to use the current time of the payload. I'm going to use the time of the current payload. Now what I can do is go up here at the top right and click Save. And we can click Deploy. And again, this is just the Deploy New Version. We'll click Deploy Version. And then if I go to Versions, you can see I have two versions here. That first version that we were using for just the 3 nodes, button, read, debug, and the second version now, which is a little bit more production ready. And if we go to deployments, we can see that our edge device does have the most recent version. So now again, I can go to my debug, I can click edge device, and we can see that it's all here, and we're automatically getting new debugs here in the right way. So now what you're ready to do is actually build more complex edge workflows, deploy them down to your Losant edge agents, and start gathering data and insights with Losant right at the edge. We'll see you in the next video.